Okay, The Last of Us Season 2 is here. I'm Claire, and I'm joined by Kim, our resident Last of Us expert. She knows the games, I don't, and we're going to break down the Season 2 premiere. So Kim, let's begin with our new character, Abby. What are your first impressions?
We meet her. She's at the graves of fireflies,
Yes.
and she's angry. Right?
She was pissed.
I don't know how to feel about her yet. We get very little of her in this episode. I mean, Caitlin Dever, obviously, right?
It was like I was excited to see her, but I was also surprised that the first moments of this long-awaited season 2 was with a character we haven't yet met.
Oh, that's a good point.
I was kind of just wanting to dive right into Joel and Ellie. I am curious about Abby. She was very mad, very upset.
I mean, she wants Joel to die slowly, right?
I know.
I don't want Joel to die slowly.
I mean,
or quickly.
Or Pedro Pascal to leave the show.
I know. But yeah, I was really looking forward to like what is happening with Joel and Ellie, and we don't get that for a while.
Speaking about what's happening with Joel and Ellie, they are not in a good place.
No, I mean, look, I know what happens in the game. I kind of hoped maybe the show would soften it a little bit. It feels like they're not in this episode, right? It's very, very hard for the two of them to communicate. It's very hard for the two of them to actually talk about what's going on. And then, of course, we have like the giant secret that he's keeping from her.
Yeah. And we see him go to therapy with Moira Rose.
Oh, I know. Look, I'm not always the biggest fan of characters going to therapy for us to figure out what's happening in their inner lives because it's sometimes an easy way out.
Right.
All the Sopranos fans just were like, screw you. It's amazing, right?
Sopranos.
But I do think that it's so hard with someone like Joel who is so repressed, who is so, he barely says anything about how he feels.
Joel, grow up. You're sitting here talking to this random lady about your relationship with Ellie. Why aren't you talking about your relationship with Ellie? I'm being a Joel hater. No, I like Joel. He is charming. But it's if he's able to express his feelings at all, I mean, that's the biggest step anyway. Like, it feels like you should be able to now talk to Ellie about it also.
That's the thing. He seemed like such a dad to me in this, whereas in the second season, he didn't feel that way as much to me in the first, right? But yeah, you would hope by this point he'd be able to like
and he
muster
did have
the
a
courage.
daughter at one time. So it's like you do know.
I know, but he's scarred because he lost her.
But you're going to lose another.
I mean, it's funny that he pays her in pot and she was drunk during the session.
Hilarious.
Like what even is this anymore?
That was the most accurate thing that I would think life would be like 20 years post.
Everyone's just high all the time to deal with their problems.
And drunk, you can't really,
Yeah. So let's talk about the youngsters, Ellie and Dina and Jesse, who I think probably get high a lot because like what else is there to do in town, right?
I'm excited by this group. I'm excited by the energy. I like that Ellie has peers now who are equally kind of rambunctious and rebellious, it seems like a little bit.
I did love how Ellie, who gives this complete tough ass like facade, was so discomfited by Dina being close, putting her stuff on and drawing in her journal. I thought
that was so cute
and sweet.
It reminds us that she's a child also, in a way. But
she's I think she's like 19 now. But
she's much younger than she seems.
In some ways, she's so much older. And in many ways, she's like super young. And I loved all of that. She definitely hasn't been around people her age in a very long time. Since all of these, I'm going to call them kids. I think I have that right. Since all of these kids were basically born after the pandemic, sometimes like when they were in the grocery store, I'm like, girls, pay attention. Yes. This is dangerous.
Get a grip because these mushroom people are smart.
Their levels of danger are all messed up.
And they think they're invincible.
Yes.
Which, I mean, Ellie is kind of. So I do have kind of a hot take when it comes to Dina. I know that we're meant to feel extreme chemistry between Ellie and Dina, which I do feel.
Okay.
But I also feel like the Abby character possesses many of the same qualities, the little we've seen of her so far, as Ellie. And so I am kind of hoping we get a love triangle. I'm hoping, I was kind of shipping Abby and Ellie.
Oh.
Where do you stand on this?
It's so hard for me to weigh in on this because I know so much about how a lot of fans of the game really wanted Caitlin Dever to play Ellie. There's been a lot of online weirdness about Bella Ramsey having the role. I think Bella's amazing in the role. But I also was not so wedded to like, I need the character to look exactly like she does. Like that's the other thing. Caitlin is very petite and small and Abby in the game is like very, very muscular. But that said, it almost felt to me like Abby is like a more vulnerable version of like if Ellie actually showed us how upset she was about things, it would look very similar to the way that Abby presents it in the beginning.
Like, I feel like they're parallel characters.
I did love Dina and Joel though. I thought they were very cute.
Yes.
He's so like surprised that anyone wants to hear what he has to say.
This poor man.
I was like, oh, Ellie broke you. Oh, that's no good.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. I do love Isabella Merced in the role. I think is really, really well cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how these dynamics
Yeah, and I know
all play
nothing
out.
about the game, so I'm just waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of the audience of the show doesn't know anything about the game. And probably that's, especially for this season, that's a much better way to come into it. You're probably going to get a lot more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I have
just
no
pure
expectation.
enjoyment than if you have everything in your head already. But you guys can, yell at me in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. So
Yell at Kim in the comments.
yay.